Okay, it's time to start. Hello, I hope you can see me and you can hear me. So please give me some reaction in chat, maybe, and we will start our today's webinar. I hope you can also see my screen with the main topic, comprehensive security. My name is Alex. I'm Chief Security Officer, or as you can see here, I Head of Security Department in SearchInform. In some moments we will start because I can see that someone is connecting just now. So let me introduce myself once again and we'll start. First of all, I'm Alex and I'm Head of Security Department at SearchInform, and I hope we will hear and see today something useful for you. I hope you have some questions and you will obviously give it to me using our Zoom chat. Well, let's begin. First of all, agenda. Well, to be honest, I'm not going to tell you about best practice. I definitely don't like best practice because often it means like forget everything you know before my lecture and I will teach you how to do something. But it's utopia. You want to know how to do security from the very beginning only if you haven't got any security. But I think you have already have something. So instead of best practice, how to build security from the zero to something, I prefer implementation, improvement, how to improve your state of security from this point to that point. And as you can see in agenda, we will observe external threats, internal threats, and something more. Well, let's start. First of all, who will try to attack your organization? There are two main groups. It's external attackers and insider attackers, insiders. Well, let's begin from external attacker. To be honest, there are two types of external attackers, like accidental attacker and malicious external attacker. The main difference is that accidental attacker doesn't have any interest in particularly your company. Well, it's like script kiddie, it's a hacktivist, but according to amount, well, generally 80% of external attacks and external attackers are accidental, 20% malicious. But what about problems? Well, this amount of attackers provides only 20% of problems company, and that, guys, provides other one, like famous principle Pareto. Well, okay, and what we are going to do with all these attackers? First of all, doesn't matter accidental external attacker or malicious external attacker. Let's see some digits. How are Middle Eastern companies attacked? Well, according to digital transformation report, you see that main goals are computers, servers, and web resources. But if we observe top three of methods, we will see that malware is number one. Then more than half of attacks will use social engineering and vulnerability exploitation. What does it mean? Well, uh, how to protect step by step. In that case, you should understand the very first step is know your infrastructure. It's like know your client in bank area, but know your infrastructure. It means if you have a business, first of all, to build any effective protection, any effective defense, you should understand what you have according to software, according to hardware. Uh, just look at this picture. It's like a plan of some organization. And it's a pity, but there is no universal solution because there is no universal organization. Each organization is unique. And uh, in this equation, we have many different axes. I mean, uh, we have different hardware in our organization. We have different software. We process different data in different ways. So the final solution is unique too, because each company is unique. Okay, but what we supposed to do in that case? Well, we need some basic knowledge. We need a foundation. Doesn't matter what do you have in your hardware, software, and so on. I collect four main tips, four main principles. You can see it. Correctly configure software, because doesn't matter what you have. Very first thing you should do, and it's like to read instruction and to make some preparations. Next one, patch management. If you remember about accident, uh, external attackers, and others, they prefer to use such a method like low-hanging fruits. I mean, if something I can do without any problem, I will do it firstly. I mean, uh, why to buy 0 day? Why I need to invent complicated plan of attack if you have unpatched software, and I can use free tools which I can apply and hack your company without any external knowledge. That's why patch management is very important. But before patch management, what you need? You need to know your infrastructure, because according to patch management process, you should make audit, you should understand what and where you have, which version of software you have, priority of CVE, and so on, so on. Next one, uh, multi-factor authentication, or at least two factors authentication, because it's like a Swiss cheese method. I mean, usually you have something like login and password. Okay, first line of defense, defense password. because login is often something like is equal to email of employee. So password, uh, and it's like a piece of Swiss cheese. I think you haven't got solid wall. In this wall, you obviously have some holes. But if you take two different pieces of this Swiss cheese, second one, second layer will have holes too, but in other places. So now you can see the only place the attacker can go through these two lines. So that's why the more lines of defense you have, the better you can defense your organization because you can notice the attack in early state. That's why multi-factor authentication is important. And the last one, backups. Backups you need because you need some kind of insurance here. Because if everything goes bad, at least you will have backups. Okay, but it's not everything. It's not all. Okay, if we look closer to real situation, well, because of each company is unique, uh, we will have something like best practice, but from attackers. I want to introduce you Mitra matrices. And for each system, for enterprise, for mobile, or industry, they have some metrics, and here in real life, we can understand how to protect us according to these metrics. For example, I use Office Suite metrics for cloud, for Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace and other cloud services. Well, uh, why we can use Mitra? Because Mitra is like global knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques based on real world observations. So if someone external decide to attack you, this attacker will use step-by-step way, which is described in this matrix. For example, uh, everything begins from this tactic, initial access. Okay, and what can we invent as defense part? Uh, if we drill down to valid accounts, for example. In this matrix, we will see examples, okay, but we will also see mitigations, some advices how to reduce risk, and detection, how to know about attack on this vector. So, and what we can understand from this table, that detection is like use audit, uh, enable login, and be ready to analyze these incidents, this be suspicious behavior, and so on, so on. According to mitigations, what we can see in most cases, like use proper settings in your software, read instructions, use multi-factor authentication, and so on, so on. Let's go to another technique, phishing. Okay, sub-techniques and so on, but according to mitigations and detection, what we can see? Same story. Uh, don't forget to analyze different logs from different systems. monitor and analyze. Okay, and according to mitigations, use some software and some devices. Same story. Audit, detection, protection. Okay, what we learn here? That first conclusion in that case, that if you know your infrastructure, if you use matrices or something else, doesn't matter. The three main activities for you is to create such environment which provides you audit of all necessary incidents and audit will help you to detect abnormal behavior here. So first of all, you need audit. Uh, Analyzing these incidents from audit, you can create some rules which detect something abnormal. If you understand this incident happened, you can develop plan of defense and prevent some action, something like that. This is first conclusion. Next one, don't forget about your information security team. I mean that you should improve your knowledge as security professionals. How? Here, I wrote four types of activity, from the easiest to hardest. I mean, at least your security team should make step number one. It means at least read the instruction here. Read white papers, maybe best practice, and so on. This step, you need this step, but it's not all, because this is theory and only theory. Theory without practice is going to zero. That's why you need step number two. It's online or offline trainings. I mean, vendor or your internal university, corporate university, or your internal security champion can share its knowledge and give a specific task to others who wants to do so. And uh, according to this step, you can make all the typical tasks and typical problems, but in good conditions, not in real life. But at least these two steps, local minimum of state of your knowledge. But step number three leads us to cyber training platform where infrastructure of your company or companies similar to yours or main processes uh, were copied, and you can add not only defense guys but also attackers. Attackers can be virtually or real, like red team and blue team, or virtual scenario as a red team, and you as a specialist, which must defend or found some cases. And the last one, but the most complicated step, uh, cyber training in real conditions with real infrastructure and real attackers. So it's complicated because it's rather expensive and rather risky if we use real infrastructure of real company. Because what are we going to do if a red team wins? That's why in real life, most companies use obviously type number one and two of activity. I mean, theory and some practice. Uh, some of them go to step number three to cyber range, and only few of them goes to real cyber training in real world. But it's rather important. So don't forget to improve your skills as cybersecurity professionals. Well, what next? Unfortunately, there are one more thing, but there are no defense against this problem. But external attackers often more than 53%, according to report I observed before. Attackers use social engineering, different techniques of social engineering, and this is problem because neither information security specialist nor any software can fully protect against social engineers. That's why we, as information security department, have a big task called awareness. So we should improve awareness. During my years in a company, during last 5 years, I developed some courses and taught more than 18,000 of different uh, peoples and collect main problems of teaching. When you use your knowledge and want to improve awareness, you should mm, you should understand that main problem in employers is denial. I mean, employees don't want to learn any helpful knowledge because of two factors. First of all, they don't understand why they need this knowledge. I mean, if you make a webinar, make a notification or something, and wrote real helpful information there, employees can ignore it because they don't understand why they need this knowledge. They can't understand how they can use it in reality. And the second factor, they don't believe that this particular incident can happen with them in reality. Well, developing awareness, we should fight against human denial. How? First of all, you should choose proper training methods and formats. It's very crucial. Why? Because people don't like reading. They don't like to read boring literature, something like that. That's why the worst idea is like use something like paper briefing, paper instruction, and something like that. Well, the best idea, obviously, is to use gamification or cyber training. But All these formats, all these methods have different problems. I mean, time, cost, or money. Gamification is rather expensive if you decided to build a real RPG shooter or something like that to the social engineering method. So time, money, and knowledge, and something else. That's why we have different variations. But try to do your best, because there are some free instruments here. And if you haven't got any choice, okay, try to do your best from this decoration. I mean, cyber training is very good, but if you want to buy such a service, it costs expensive. Okay, but what we can do? If we have time and knowledge, we can use free, for example, a GoFish email server. We can implement it in our infrastructure and make phishing emails to our employees. Okay, but if we haven't got time and knowledge, but we have wish, okay, we can make some games, but using but use ready questions for information security from Jeopardy, for example, and make event to our employees for that. So on. So on. We can use even briefing, but using specific platforms such as Google Forms or Moodle. Well, it's up to you what to choose, but you should understand that methods and formats are crucial, and even very good information will go to nowhere if we use bad methods and format. Next one. Next problem. Often information security department focus to teach how to recognize particular signs of phishing, but not the main idea of phishing, not a tactic. I mean, often I can see that employees were taught like dogs, sit, fetch, and something like that without any understanding. I mean, like here, green padlock in the address bar is always safe. Okay, if you see green padlock, it's okay. If you see gray one, no, it's unsecure. Well, not every time. I mean, here, what is SSL and so on, ordinary employer even can't remember in that case. Same story. Just remember all the email addresses. Bad idea to do so. That's why instead of recognize signs, you should do something else. I mean, uh, try to teach to main principles. For example, according to phishing sites, the main principle, the main sign is that website address was misspelled, but it's good to show other signs, content, simulation of functionality, and so on. And you should understand that ordinary employee can't remember everything. So you should divide all these signs to important and not unimportant, but if you forget it, it doesn't matter. I mean, according to phishing sites, very important is address and uh, time of life. Time of life, I mean, when this account, this domain was created, because most of phishing sites are very freshy. They live a couple of days, maybe, and that's all. Same story to phishing letters, to phishing emails. You should understand that main idea in phishing emails, very important side, is call to action and time when this letter was received. I mean, unexpected emails. This is the main idea. Suspicious sender's email, yeah, rather important, but particularly in email, we can fake sender's address very easy. That's why a main problem is to recognize call to action. What I mean? I mean here that let's see typical phishing email. What do I have? Okay. Uh, sender's address, valid. Okay, fake, but but valid. Okay, but according to content, pay attention to content. What do we have? I have some fear here because your password expires today. Alarm and call to action. Call to action is here. Press that button. So that's the main idea. That's why you should divide phishing signs to important and unimportant. Because if I remember only two of them, but both important, call to action and unexpected email, I can have strong doubts about how to react to this email. Next problem. Uh, Next problem, according to how often we should learn and improve knowledge of our employees. Well, there is no any strict periods, but according to our experience, we recommend use large-scale information exercises and trainings only once a year. I mean, like phishing emails and so on. And once per 3 months, different webinars, lectures, and so on. Because if you decided to do it more often, well, learning becomes a routine and employees will lose attention and so on. And scenario, you will fail to invent all new methods, all new scenario each time. Well, but if you will teach less often, employees will forget everything. Well, so once a year and once per 3 months. But if something happens just now, something crucial like, for example, fake boss attack with deep fakes and something like that. There's always time for emergency notifications. So emergency notifications from time to time depends on attack. So this with a schedule, this by demand or something like that. Uh, why I against often why I against about learning more often. Let me explain using passwords. This is research I found some years ago, and during this research, uh, scientists asked people to create and to remember 10 or more passwords, strong passwords with digits, with symbols, and so on. And what they see, what they saw, people decided to reduce complexity of this task, and instead of just remember all the unfamiliar combinations, they invent another way to remember it, just drawing simple figures on keyboard, as you can see here. For example, password, strong password, 1QAZ exclamation QAZ. Long enough, strong enough, but it's very simple password. It's like vocabulary password because it's a technique like zigzag and threes. Because I just use shift button and using my finger on keyboard and go from up to down to the bottom without shift button and with shift button and so on. So same story was with the graph keys. If a person decided to invent strong graphical password, he just invent a more easier way to remember it. So that's why often doesn't mean better. If you push your employees invent new, long, strong password each month, well, soon you will see that they invent something like good strong combination and just use 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. They clone the foundation of password and add something simple. If there will be any breaches, each attacker will understand this idea very quickly, even automatically. So often doesn't mean better. And the final problem, what will do if no one will assess the progress? So why should I as employee study well if poor result doesn't affect anything? Or if I haven't got any reward if I study Very good. Well, what to do here? Uh, Make a gamification or add some virtual money, virtual currency here. Now, what I mean? Well, I prefer carrot instead of stick. That's why my advice is to use something like achievement or virtual currency. What I mean? First of all, achievements. Even simple sign like security champion or something like that in intranet. This sign matters for employees. They love to collect different signs. So you may use internal quiz, game, or Jeopardy, and top three will be rewarded with something uh, like star in kindergarten, but it works. Next level of this idea is virtual currency. I mean, I saw many times in companies there are internal market with some unique goods. For example, internal market, and in this market you will have um, unique corporate cup, unique hoodie. You can't get these goods uh, in corporate events or for money. You only can buy it, for example, for 30 internal company coins and something like that. So, uh, with help of HR department, information security department, uh, make uh, events like security quiz or something else, and create reward for this. You were good in teaching, so here's your extra 10 coins and so on. So employer can use this virtual currency to buy unique good from internal market, and employer wants to be better than others. That's why it works good. Well, totally, everything goes in right way if you use uh, some positive rewards, not a negative like fines. Well, bottom line to this part is that if you need to improve the quality of knowledge of your employees in different information security aspects, you have different ways. You can teach them yourself, but don't forget about problems I told you, and don't forget about methods and formats. You can use ready-made tools because it's a common problem, and some people try to solve it before you. So ready-made tools can help you to reduce um, your waste of time or money or knowledge or something else. And you can also just buy such a course or develop this course in collaboration with vendors or someone. But now you will know weak points of this course, because if you met expensive, very colorful course, but this course is just dumb and boring, I think you shouldn't waste time and money for that. Well, let's go to another uh, attacker to insider. So here, uh, the main problem with the internal attacker that he is already inside. He has account. It's our corporate account with different type of access and so on. Well, if we can create some layers of defense against external hacker, and here our core, our company. So the main problem with internal hacker that he is just here, and often we have different tools here. We can control each layer, collect logs, uh, make audit. We can process that logs and understand. We can predict incidents or react to detected incidents. We can use detection and prevention. But inside, often we haven't got same story. We haven't got audit inside, and we can't build detection and response here. So, what to do with that problem, with problem of insider? Well, in this case, same story. First of all, you should know how your business works. Why? The main idea that you should uh, know 3W. You should understand when, where, and what data mm, in your company. I mean, let's observe a simple process of data breach. Insider decided to mm, stall client's base. We have client's base in CRM, for example, and we have ordinary manager which use his account with kind of access and use his computer, make query to CRM system, like give me information about clients. I mean, give me all accounts in this city, in this country, or something like that. Well, CRM, it means query to database. And what we can observe according to 3W, what, when, and where. What data in what time and where was in motion or at rest. When a manager create query to CRM system, it means we have here something like select from column, from table, and so on. And after this command, data will go from the database to CRM to the screen of the uh, employee. Then, if I, as an employer, can see this data on my laptop, on my screen, I can invent at least three ways how to steal this data. I can use my mobile phone and shut it. I can also uh, print this data, send it to printer, and I also can export this data to file and then send file to something to via email, via messenger, to the cloud, or something like that. Or send file to USB flash drive. So if I understand as an information security specialist how this works, how data transfer from one system to another system, I can understand where I can control this data and what tools I need. For example, uh, first, mm, first step, comment to the database. Well, I can control something with the security information and event management system if uh, I have enough and full logs in CRM or in database. Maybe in that case, I can detect some abnormal behavior. For example, uh, suspicious time or suspicious account or suspicious volume of data. I don't know. So, but it's important for me here. Okay, when data arrives to computer here, for example, I haven't got a full log here or I haven't got CM system. Okay, forget about it. Here, three ways to steal information. Uh, Make a photo using mobile phone. Okay. Can I prevent it uh, via software? Yes, for example, some DLP system can do so. What about printing? Well, printing, it means information goes to printer and moves information is in motion now. What system can intercept, analyze, and prevent printing sensitive data? If I know it, so I can say that it's DLP. And same story to export. Well, when I, as a manager, export something on my local PC, first of all, this information is just lying at rest on my hard drive. So, information at rest can be found automatically by data-centric audit and protection system, DCAP system, or data access governance system. Same story. This part. But after this, if I, as a manager, decided to send this information to any other point, to my USB flash drive, to my email or something like that, in that case, information begins moving. So, and we know This part is for data leak prevention system. So, as you can see, all screen now in my drawings. Well, summing it up. If you know when, what, and where, according to information, you can understand how to control these data flows, how to control this data in general, and what tools you need for this. So that's why it's the very first step to insiders is know how business works. Next one, but before this, uh, I think step number 0 is make an order. So to put the corporate digital assets in order. I mean, before you begin to invent walls and locks, you should find answers to these questions. First of all, you should understand what generally we have of value. So, do we have any sensitive data which worth protection? Okay, if we have, where this data is located? I mean, answer for the first question uh, from laws. I mean, uh, for example, GDPR or health protections laws and so on. So uh, best practice from vendors, same story, and your own understanding of business. Then, where could this sensitive data can be located? Generally, I use at least 6 dots here, 6 places. Databases. So some information can be in DB, but make an audit of DB is rather complicated and expensive. But okay, first place. Second place is users' PCs. Next one, it's like network folders or something like that. Okay, like network folders, common network folders and personal network folders and so on. It's kind of network attached storages or clouds, internal clouds or commercial external clouds like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and something like that. And the last one is mail server. Inside corporate mails, uh, you can match much sensitive data. So we understand what we want to find. We understand where we should apply our security rules and where we should make audit. Then we should understand who has access to files in theory. I mean, it's access right metrics of access rights, and who has access to the sensitive data in practice. Because from time to time, we can map that in theory to some accounts were given wide, huge rights for access, but in practice, they don't need them. So we can understand it during our audit and reduce and decline unnecessary access rights. So after these four steps, we finally can put the assets in order. And in most cases, to find the answer for these questions, we can with help of data-centric audit and protection system. The main task for such a class of system is to classify documents in real time. Classify means you can apply specific rules. You can use built-in rules in such a system, or you can you can create your own rules and understand where you have sensitive data. The main problem that most data breaches becomes because of chaos, because ordinary uh, employer can have access to everything. That's the problem. If you, for example, fresh news, Subaru company in USA, Japan, and Canada, uh, Subaru company have internal system for employees as administrator, and it happens that each employee, each internal employer can see everything about clients' pay information, history of addresses, history of trips, and many others. Make different actions with the car just using email, and that's all. Just imagine there are no two-factor authentication on this portal. Uh, then there are no password because you can decline any password and have access only knowing a simple email of the employer. So that's a problem. In many companies, uh, bad situation with user access rights and with documents. So the main task for DCAP is to classify documents, but there's not only task. Then classification. Okay, first. Next task is audit of user access rights. Next task, blocking rules. Well, you should understand that DCAP system can not only, it's like our three whales, audit, detection, and prevention. So DCAP provides audit by classification and audit of user access rights. Then you can create specific alerts using knowledge from audit and detect abnormal behaviors, abnormal actions, and you can block this action, so provide prevention. Knowing it, we can go to next step. Well, here my invention incident progress line. What I told about you is we can call it information accumulation stage. here is we can use both decap system and DLP to prevent data breach from insider because typically user use three steps: query to database, data transformation, and data sending. So if we want to protect information against breach, we can detect this action beforehand according to our information accumulation stage, but the very last for post here is blocking in DLP system, DLP blocking, because data-centric audit and protection system can block only access to file. I mean, if I, as an insider, want to share some information via Zoom, for example, and just now I'll take file, drag and drop it to my Zoom chat, and send it to of all of you. Well, according to uh, according to processes, it will be like process zoom.exe want to have an access to the file with specific path, and decap can block it. For my account or for each account, that file can't be accessible with zoom.exe. That's all decap can do. But if we allow this action, we have another DLP. When information start to move, when Zoom chat from Zoom from my PC try to send it to Zoom server in the internet, this action can be blocked too by DLP system, because DLP can integrate with Zoom, can intercept this information and block this action using content blocking. So that's why we still have opportunities how to prevent data breach. Well, everything depends on you. Uh, the main conclusion that our protection strategy as an information security specialist is to have such tools which can detect and prevent incident in the present via blocking, for example, or there's something else. But we also need detection and audit because we should investigate this incident and understand what happened, uh, what leads us to that incident, because we must develop measures to prevent such incidents in future. It means that information security is a normal business process when you have place to plan, do, control, and act. So it's a Deming cycle. And For bonus last two slides, uh, you should also pay attention to monitor platforms outside your IT perimeter, such as social media, mailing services, human resources platforms, and others. Why? Because we have a question. What will happen if these accounts will be defaced, for example? So, for example, you have your official page in Facebook. Okay. Uh, who should care about protection of this page? Who should understand that account or page is protected with at least two factors authentication? Who now is the ownership of this page? For example, is SSM manager. Okay, what will happen if we change that person? One will be retired or fired, and we will take new one. Do they change passwords? Do they change login details such as phone number or something like that? What to do? So I think it's another issue for information security departments to know the answers for these questions. And I think that's all I want to tell you today. Well, if you have any questions, please mm, do your best and give me to Zoom chat. And if you haven't got anyone, thanks for watching and see you next time.